guys, it's Sky bringing another video. So things have been good with me. I still have things that have come in my life that have been challenging, but I have more positivity towards myself in my life. A lot has to do with pushing myself out there more and getting myself more involved in the world again. I can lock myself away where I can just fall into this deep hole where I don't have pride towards myself and I just become lost. And that's what's kind of happened over the past year when I struggled with my car accident and just not feeling comfortable with my back. And then I went through those difficult times during the holidays where I just felt so alone. What's helped me a lot is, like I told you guys on my last video, I wanted to start dieting and eating healthier. And I've really implemented that in my life now. It was really hard at first, that initial barrier of, making yourself strict again with what you're eating and not just being so casual with everything. And it's helped me so much over the past month, mentally too. So, I'm definitely heading in the right direction. I told you guys before, I put myself, getting back out there playing sports. In December, I started bowling again. Actually, this past Saturday, I played in my first softball game in 14 months. I was definitely nervous going into that tournament, but, those are the type of things that I need to start feeling better physically, but just getting out there and connecting with people again. So, like I said, I was extremely nervous. Luckily enough for me, last Friday, I went and my brother took me to the park and I was hitting the ball and then I was fielding too. I usually play center field, so I just needed to get my timing back. But I actually did really good fielding. That I honestly felt still like how I was before, comfortable. I was a little rusty with hitting. I still did pretty good, better than I expected, but my timing is still not there and my confidence towards it is still not there. So I need to build that back up, but I did feel pretty good out there running around. I haven't had much ability to be able to go out there and exercise like I want to and keep myself in good shape. So that part's been hard. Actually, 2 months ago, I remember we went out to dinner with my parents, my brother, and nieces and nephew, and after dinner, they always want to mess around in the parking lot. They want to race and stuff. So I was like, all right, let's do this. And I went out there and raced, and I was like, I felt so broken physically. I felt slow. I just felt like, man, I was like, all that hard work I put into those past years before this past year, I worked my butt off to get in probably the best shape I've ever been in. And this last year, I fell back down again. And it made me really depressed that night. But it also motivated me too, because I was like, man, what did I do? I just allowed myself to just lose it again, like my confidence, everything. And that's really kind of what sparked my whole, it was something that helped spark it. But, I just, it's like, man, what happened to me? I had so much confidence. I had so much, pride in my ability to, where I was able to change my life. And now I'm out here and I feel so poor physically. I felt slow. I felt unathletic. And it's like, I've already wasted so much of my life with sports as it is when I was growing up, of just not being able to be part of something because I was struggling with who I was and struggling, with wanting to improve myself mentally too. And, I was like, I need to make a change. And when I went back out there and I practiced before my tournament, I was like, well, I actually don't feel bad. Like, I felt quick, I felt healthy, I felt strong. So that did give me confidence going into the tournament. The tournament was Saturday. It was Saturday night. It was a night tournament. The first game was at 9 p.m. So I showed up to the softball tournament. I was a mess all day. Like, I've always struggled with this. I've always been good at sports, but I've struggled with anxiety before sporting events, and it's always been like that. It takes, like, for me to get out there and, make a nice catch in center field or, have a good hit to really relax me. But it being 14 months since I played in a softball game, better less a tournament on a competitive team that expects to win the tournament, was hard. I didn't want to let anybody down, so I went out to the tournament. I look over to to my left, and I see my brother sitting on the bleachers, and I was like, what the heck? As soon as I seen him, I was like, I kind of got emotional because he mentioned something about going out there and supporting me, but I didn't expect him to show up. It was really cold that night, so I was grateful for that. I was pretty emotional, though. I'm not going to lie, because that support means the world to me. I've kind of lacked that in a lot of my life, with feeling like people believed in me. So I was grateful that he showed up, and he actually had his new girlfriend with him. They've been dating a month or so now, and I've met her before. We went to dinner with my parents, and she's a really genuine, kind person. So the fact that she came out there too in freezing weather to support me, my brother's friend was out there too, so I was grateful for that. But it also made me feel nervous too, because it's like, wow, they came out here to support me, and it's been a long time. I don't feel fully comfortable. I was like, I don't want to let anybody down. I was like, damn, I was so nervous before my first at bat, but I had a really good tournament. We ended up we went 2-1. The only game we lost by 1 run in the last inning. We were up by 2 runs, and they scored 3 to win the game. I went out, in total I had 7 at bats in 3 games. I went 3 for 4 with 3 doubles, 6 RBIs, 2 walks, and I had a catch in right field. There wasn't really much action out there. I was substituting. Like I said, I'm not back physically yet. I don't have my stamina, so I wasn't, this is a team that's been together, that, they all know each other. I know a couple of them, but, they brought me in late. They needed somebody, and they said that they're excited to have me back out there. A lot of people, have always wanted me to play in their teams, but I'm kind of picky because I need to feel comfortable with people. Like I said, I already struggle with anxiety, but if I don't know people, it makes it even harder for me to connect. So, putting myself back out there, though, that was the right decision, because even when he asked me, I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this yet. But then I told myself, what, I'll never be ready for it if I don't go out there and put myself out there in these positions, and challenge myself to feel better physically. And playing softball actually makes me eat healthier too, because you want to feel strong, and at least for me, that's important to me, to feel comfortable out there physically. Unfortunately, we got all the way up to the semifinals. Unfortunately, in the tournament, like I said, it was a night tournament, and the sprinklers were going off all over the fields, and it ended up flooding the fields. So going into the semifinals, we didn't get to continue to play, so the tournament was canceled. So that was frustrating, because we were playing really good as a team. The first playoff game we played in, we won like 20-5, and everybody was hitting and fielding. I was having a really good game, and it was unfortunate, but since it was canceled, we got a refund. We were able to enter a new tournament without paying, so that's really cool. So I'll be able to play in another tournament. I'm just grateful I went out there and I put myself out there in that environment to feel a sense of positivity for myself and get myself back out there of being, active. So I'll let you guys know what happens with the next tournament, and what happens if I can start playing more softball. I do really enjoy it, and it helps me, have a sense of positivity for myself, because it motivates me in different areas too. Like I said, with eating healthier. We had something really difficult happened a couple weeks ago. It's been about 3 weeks now. My brother's best friend growing up passed away. He's been battling brain cancer for the last couple of years, and it didn't, just ended up passing away, and honestly broke my heart. I was on my stream when my brother came and told me. I was kind of in shock. I was just, I didn't really think about it right away, because I'm an emotional person and I care. He was like my older brother. Him and my brother were so close. He played on all my brother's soccer teams. They were inseparable. He was always around my family. He was part of it. And a couple of days after he told me, I was on Facebook and I was looking at pictures that were posted by my brother with all 3 of us. He's at my birthday parties. There's pictures with him and my brother with Santa Claus, and he was just always been a part of my family. when my brother got out of high school, went to go play at Cal State Fullerton, and then when he went to go play college or pro soccer, you know, they kind of went their separate ways, but we've stayed connected on Facebook, all three of us. So, you know, that part was really hard. You know, I saw my brother broken, you know, he meant everything to him. You know, they were best friends. And, you know, it also opened my eyes up too, because it made me realize how pointless it is to argue sometimes about, you know, stupid things with your brothers and sisters or with anybody, you know, because life's so short and you never know what can happen. You know, a couple months ago, like I told you guys on my video, me and my brother had a fight, and we were really mad at each other. It was a really pretty bad fight. You know, we both said mean things to each other, and I love him, and I always have his back no matter what. And you know, something like that shouldn't have to happen to, you know, realize how stupid it is to fight over something, you know, that isn't that serious. And you know, that could have been him, that could have been me, and the last things that happened where we're mad at each other and we don't want to talk to each other. You know, so for me, that's just like, it makes me sad. You know, I'm so broken from that. It's like, I get everything together in my life, and then something happens to somebody that I care about. And then it's like, how am I supposed to have joy again? How am I supposed to, you know, have motivation? You know, I felt bad for his son. I felt bad for his wife. You know, he was a good person. He did not deserve to go through that kind of pain and struggle. You know, I'm happy that, you know, he doesn't have to suffer anymore. But me selfishly misses him, and I know my brother does. My brother was destroyed from it. You know, breaks my heart because, you know, even though that we argue, you know, I want so much good things for him. You know, we've always had each other's backs. You know, I want him to be happy. You know, just like me, he's had his own struggles, whether it was with him retiring early from soccer because of his arthritis, you know, or, you know, the struggles that followed after that. Sometimes, you know, we don't know why bad things happen to us, you know, or why, you know, we have to figure things out all over again. And, you know, it was difficult. And you know, for my brother, though, there was something that came out of it that was really positive. You know, when he went up there to the funeral, he went up there with this girl he knew from high school, and they were both really good friends with him. And they went up there and started talking, and she's actually his new girlfriend. So that, you know, beautiful things can come from painful things like that, like things that broke him. You know, I see him smiling, I see him happy, so I'm really happy that he has somebody for him, especially during this time when he was really in a dark place from his friend. You know, and she's a really positive person. She's healthy, and she's able to carry that on to him, which is what I want for him. You know, I want him to believe in himself. I want him to have, you know, motivation. And, you know, I just want nothing but good things for him. And I want him to have the same support like he showed me at my softball tournament. So I want to make sure I go out there and support him for him, you know, when he has his next tournament out there. And like I said, this really opens my eyes up to, you know, do more for each, you know, and he feels the same way. It's like, you know, we care so much about each other. You know, we always have each other's backs. You know, we go through our little struggles where we argue, we don't get along, but at the end of the day, you know, he's been one of the rare people that's been there for me in my entire life. He's always protected me, and I'm grateful for having him. I don't know where I'd be without him. And sometimes I take that for granted, and I know he does too. And it's like, you know, in this world, you know, you don't know when your last day here, and sometimes it's easy to lose, you know, motivation for things in life, and you get lost. I do feel like, though, I'm headed in the right direction. You know, I've been definitely happier lately. I feel healthier, I feel stronger, and I feel like, I'm finally getting back to where I was before. And I hope to continue that. And there's a lot that I do want to talk about, with the things that play a role in my life, things that I might have not have talked about before with family. I go through my struggles, and sometimes like I hold back some of my emotions, but I think it's really important that I do talk about certain things, because I think people have a lot of that in common in their own life, where they can connect to it at, so I will share that with you guys, and continue to share my journey. I've been really motivated with my streaming. I've been doing that a lot. I haven't been feeling very good the last week or so physically. Like, not okay. Physically, I've been feeling good. Okay, I've been kind of sick, I guess you can say. So I've been feeling better the last couple of days, but it was really hard, especially after the softball tournament, because I was so sore I couldn't move for a couple of days. But and I think a lot too is because when I started eating healthier, I started slowing my intake and food, and you kind of got to adjust to that, and that's kind of one of the initial barriers that's very difficult, because when you don't have like this strict plan out there, you kind of snack when you want it, and then when I start eating healthier, I limit that, and sometimes that time I could feel not have the energy as I had before. But I'm starting to figure things out and just getting myself feeling healthy again, and I'm excited. I need to keep working hard. I need to, I've been starting to really realize that you have to, fighting is living, and before I was really naive and arrogant to the, ignorant to the fact that, I thought there was this place where you just get to where you just feel happy the rest of your life, and that's not what it is. You have to work for that. You have to work for happiness and pride, and that's what I need to do. And I need to suck up, whether it's my back or things that challenge that come in my life that I feel down with, or I feel hurt by people, and push that, learn to contain that, and still be happy and still strive for things. That's one of my biggest flaws, is when I get hurt by somebody, it affects me with the rest of the world. I'm not able to learn to deal with this situation and still push forward towards the things I want to do in my life. And the only person that's hurting at the end of the day is myself. And I need to have pride for that, and for my, to better my life. So I do feel positive and happy, and I will continue to share that with you guys. Like I said, there is a lot that I want to talk about. I've had people come on my stream recently, I hear them talk about their own lives and their own struggles. I've had people come to me that are transgender and they don't know how to come out, or they don't know how to deal with it, and I do want to talk about that, because it's extremely important. I know, for people like me, the suicide rate is extremely high because people don't know how to deal with certain situations, and they're treated poorly. So I want to be able to be open and talk about that, to reach out, to connect with them, so they don't feel alone, or they don't feel hurt. This world isn't easy, and that's for everyone. When I made my videos, first started making my videos, it was all about just helping people. But the thing is you guys helped me so much more than I could ever have thought. You guys probably have helped me more than I've helped any of you. And I don't think I'll ever be able to express that or put that into words, of how you've been able to give me strength and changing my life and making me see something in myself. I've always been very negative towards myself, starting at a young age, just because of who I was and how I thought about myself. And so I have this narrow-minded, vision of myself, and not believing I deserve good things. And sometimes that's what stops me from doing more in this world, because sometimes I question whether I deserve it or not. So, I kind of want to get, talk about that kind of stuff and get in more detail, on how I ended up here. A lot of people think like like I exaggerate the hate for myself, and I really don't. People say nice things about me, but when I look in the mirror, I don't see the things that they see. I've changed a lot. I'm more confident. I feel a sense of happiness toward myself. I accept myself now, but there's still things that I need to improve on. And I hope to share that with you guys. This world isn't easy. Know that you're not alone no matter who you are. I know the world can be very hateful and negative, especially with media and social media. That's why I think it's extremely important to have YouTube and have people with their own channels where they could talk about the things they go through in their own life. Be able to connect with them. People just want to feel appreciated and loved. And it's not easy. I've been through some really dark places, but I've also become a really strong person. Whether I want to admit it or not, I am. I continue to fight. I don't give up, and I hope that my story leads me down a positive path, but that's not, that's down to me. No matter what anybody else does to me, I have that ability to make my life better. I have that ability to be more positive. And before, I didn't realize that I control my own emotions no matter what anybody does to me. I'm the one that controls them. I'm the one that controls how I feel when somebody says something negative to me, and I need to realize that the only person that can make myself happy is me. So, I've missed you guys. I hope everybody's been good. I hope that you guys have had nothing but happiness around you. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like. It helps me out. If you want to know more about my life, subscribe. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next video.